Let's pretend that today you get to be a teacher and Dobby, your dog, is your student. Nice picture of Dobby, who is real and near my feet. If you were a special education teacher in a classroom with 17 students, this would be like taking care of 17 Dobbies. You have to walk 17 Dobbies at one time to the bathroom. Does that sound easy? And his answer would be no, because our dog does not like to walk on a leash and likes to pull at every rabbit that goes by. Now you get to have your best friend help you as the paraprofessional who will take a few of your dogs to training, and maybe another friend who will come in and teach Creature how to sit for a few hours a day. Does this sound like an easy job? And it needs some work. We were in the process of going, but that was kind of our trying to humanize it to an 11-year-old.
And you're trying to humanize the teaching, how difficult it is to be a teacher?
Yes. How many students you have and how we need more teachers. That would be kind of our message.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And then I don't know what to call the other team. Other team, are you all ready?
We're called the inclusion team, and
Nice.
ours is a story. And Beth, would you like to read our story? Or would you like one of us to? We didn't get to determine who was reading the story, but Beth, if you'd like to, or Scott, I would hand it over to you, or whoever would like to.
I can read it since I was still kind of writing on it. So we wrote the story of inclusion. So ours was Lily and Sam were best friends in a 5th grade classroom. You guys can hear me, right? Lily and Sam were best friends in a 5th grade classroom. Lily was a student in the classroom and Sam was a student with special needs and needed help, the help of a helper called a paraprofessional to be part of the classroom. They enjoyed learning and playing together every day. One day, their teacher, Mrs. Johnson, explained that due to a shortage of helpers, Sam might have to leave the classroom sometimes. This made Lily very sad because she cherished Sam's unique perspective and creativity. Whenever Sam was not around, Lily noticed a gap in the classroom. She missed his laughter and the way he brought excitement to their group project. Determined to keep Sam included, Lily spoke to Mrs. Johnson about finding a solution. They worked together to find ways to ensure Sam could stay in the classroom more often, allowing Lily and her classmates to appreciate the true diversity and inclusion. With Sam back in the class more frequently, Lily and her classmates rejoiced. They embraced his different ways of seeing things, finding inspiration in his creativity. Sam's presence enriched their learning environment, teaching them empathy and understanding. Through their friendship with Sam, Lily and her classmates enjoyed learning that everyone deserves a place to belong regardless of their abilities. Together, they created a classroom where everyone felt welcomed, appreciated, and including. Some states provide more money so that there are more helpers or paraprofessionals so that students like Sam can spend more time in the classrooms with their friends like Lily. The end.
Great. Thank you, Beth, and team inclusion. So I'll play these for James, and then should I email out? Well, so we got team inclusion, other team. What do you all want to call yourselves? Team Dobby?
We can do Team Dobby.
Seemed obvious. Okay. And then do you all want me to email it out, the results, or do you want to wait till we meet next time?
I think next time is fine.
Okay. Okay, you're not dying. Not dying to know. All right. Sounds good. Good. Well, so the process, one of the reason this all started was because Scott did a breakout at the SPDIG National Meeting about making numbers count. And then we had a vote for what we wanted to book club on. And that was the one that was most popular, potentially because of the people who were in your session, Scott. But one of the things Scott and his team had done was get together and talk about SPDIG numbers using making numbers count and think about how they could make them more meaningful. And Scott, do you still have the handout that you used for that breakout? Would you be okay with sharing it? Yeah, thank you. And so I was hoping that this would be similar to that, right? Like that you would have a chance to hear from others about how to make
Mhm.
the numbers meaningful in a situation. And I think generally if we're trying to make something meaningful, going on about an 11-year-old is not a bad idea. They don't have the context maybe some other people would have, but at least the numbers I was showing you, like anyone this is a public website. Everyone is invited to look at it. So it's not really specifically for, PhDs or anything like that. Thank you, Scott. So Scott just added it. So Scott, do you want to share for those who weren't at your session, just a little bit about how you all worked as a team on those
Yeah.
data?
Yeah. So obviously our SPDIG is focused more around behavior. So basically this is kind of our different coaches who are working with individual buildings, and like kind of one of their goals was, okay, how can we take this concept and apply it to something? So one worked with the school around variability in kind of their language, and expectations for kids. One focused on transitions, and if we can do effective transitions, how much time could be saved, but then used a little bit better way, or I guess a little bit more stickier way to then communicate those numbers and stuff like that. So you can kind of see the idea. But we did a book study on made to stick, and just really had a lot of conversations around stickiness and all that. And then that's kind of that morphed into data and really talking about data. And that's where we got this idea. So we're still really early into it, but like a thing like this, I think what we would do is really take time to say, okay, what is the most important messages we want to share out? Like, so our team was talking about the importance of paraeducators and how especially in some states, there's just not enough. And the team Davi, I think, was the same way. It's like, so recognizing, okay, this is the thing that we want to communicate. Now, what's the best way to communicate this, as opposed to just saying, um, I think like our point would be is like, if an 11-year-old herds that we have each paraeducator has to serve 14 kids. Can they conceptualize that? So then having that conversation and trying to make it in maybe a different way, I think would be the way how I would do it. So I don't know. Sorry, I'm rambling here.
No, that makes sense to me. I can't open it up on my
Oh,
screen. I don't know if you want to share it for a second.
yeah, sure.
It showed up in my chat, but I don't know.
Weird.
Might
Yeah,
be a
I tried to
firewall.
open it and then my Adobe quit on me, so I don't know.
Yeah,
If it doesn't
I
work,
can share. I've got it
that'd be
open.
great.
sure.
Thanks.
That'd be great.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, it forced download for me, but that was
okay,
fine.
got it.
Okay. So here's the first page.
Yeah, so this was
of
just a
the
few
handout.
different examples of kind of how we just said the data in a different way that was more sticky.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just some concepts from the book. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that we've gained 84 hours back
Yeah.
for classroom. That
Like
That's
that
a
was
big
huge.
idea.
Because I mean, that one was really huge. Like we can talk about how important it is to do, like I think that was for decreasing, say, exclusionary practices, but to actually put that into context of, and I think they gave that example in the book of the amount of extra instructional time and stuff like that. And then I think that one even more like saying, okay, we get extra instructional time, but then what does that actually mean? And so then try to putting that into concept or the context of travel and helping people kind of realize how long that actually is.
Right.
Thought that was kind of cool.
Well, so today both teams used the you made an emotional statement, right? Or
Yeah.
a little more. I mean, dogs, like connecting with dogs is like
Yeah.
a pretty good emotional thing, and also something that is simplifies it and makes it more concrete because people know dogs, and kids often know what it's like to walk dogs. I think I don't think either team did the build a scale model today.
No. Yeah, I
Putting
think
numbers in human terms. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Sorry, I'm interrupting you again.
No.
I think you could kind of make the argument that especially the dog one, you're converting to a process. So the example on the bottom left of 5 gigs of music people don't really understand, but 2 months of commutes. So for an 11-year-old, they
So it
don't
is.
necessarily understand, but they understand taking the dog for a walk and what that actually entails. So that would be a
Right.
good one. So
Right. Good. Good. This is really helpful to see it on the page that way. So for next time, we will not be doing a competition. Was I hope it was fun. It's the first time we've done it. So, there's always a lesson learned about like how the process should go and how I should explain it for sure. But I would be interested if you all think about other ways we could make this real for people. I think it's nice to have the quotes, but I also want to work on data together. So let's try to have everyone bring one piece of data next time that you think is really important that you want to translate, and we'll have options for us as a group to workshop it just as a whole group together. But but if you all have other ideas about how we can make this something active and hands-on, I am very, very open to it. And here is the Planet Money podcast in case you're interested in hearing where it all came from. It's a little bit on the long side, but if you listen the first 15 minutes, you're going to get the basic idea of it. But these news reporters, like, this is their job. They do it all the time, and they were having trouble. They were really like, oh my God, this is a hard idea. And they were also talking, at least one of them talks to a younger person and talks about what would make sense. And I think it's a nice idea, maybe going to a novice and saying, this is what we're trying to get across. Like, does it make sense to you? How else could we shape it? And just getting that feedback before you share data out. I just like workshopping generally things. So it was great to see you all. So our next section, does anyone have their book and is able to say like a section that makes sense? We started, so today was
You stopped
48 to
on
84.
84. I mean, 118 is right before build a scale model. So that would be like
Right.
30 pages. So 84 to
great.
118. Does that make
Good.
sense to anybody else?
yeah,
I think that's the right amount too.
Mhm.
And Scott already gave us a heads up about the whole scale model thing. So we're great. Thank you all very much for doing this, and I'll let you know next time what James has to say. It's a tough critic. All right, have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.